Hi everyone, my name is Ajas Morgan C. Donke and I'm together with Miss Danica Estanyol to report the small and large ruminants. So let us proceed in the lesson objectives of this lesson. So first we are going to learn the meaning of small and large ruminants. Then we are going to learn more about ruminants and its digestive system. Next, we are going to learn the difference of the small and large ruminants. And lastly, we are going to learn the importance of ruminants and rumination. Now, let us learn more about what is ruminant. A ruminant is any herbivore animal with four compartment stomachs, which are tasked with acquiring nutrients from plant-based food by fermenting it before digestion. So these are the animals or herbivorous animals that have a four-compartment stomach. This stomach will ferment the food before digestion. So the four compartments of the stomachs are rumen, reticulum, omasum, and obasum. Now, for the additional, let us remember that not all herbivore animals are ruminants, such as pigs and horses. So, examples of ruminant animals are sheep, goats, giraffes, cows, buffaloes, and cattle. So, in the rumination process, it allows these animals to eat forages and other high-fiber feeds that are not be able to be eaten by humans and other non-ruminant animals. So, meaning to say, by or through rumination process, these allows animals to ferment and digest foods that are not or cannot be eaten by human beings. Now, let us proceed to the ruminant digestive system. As what I've said, there are four compartments in the stomach of a ruminant animal. So first, let's have the rumen. The rumen is the largest stomach compartment and consists of several sacs. It can hold 25 gallons or more of material depending on the size of a ruminant animal. Because of its size, the rumen acts as the storage or the holding vat for feed. Aside from storage, the rumen is also the fermentation vat. So this is where they ferment their food that they have eaten. So the rumen absorbs most of the VFAs from the fermentation. From the fermentation process, the rumen will absorb the volatile fatty acids. So let us remember that the volatile fatty acids are the main energy source for the ruminants. It provides approximately 70% of the total energy requirements of the ruminant animals. The fermentation process is very important because these absorbs the volatile fatty acids. And let us remember that the volatile fatty acids are the main energy source of the ruminants. So through these, ruminants have an energy to chew their food. Next part is the reticulum. The reticulum is a pouch-like structure in the forward area of the body close to the heart. It is a small tissue fold lies between the reticulum and rumen, but the two are in separate compartments. Together, they're called the ruminoreticulum. Heavy or dense feed and metal objects eaten by the cow drop in this compartment. So for example, a cow will eat a metal particle or what we call nails or any metal objects accidentally. So those metal objects will go in this place. In the reticulum. It will stay in this place because it cannot be digested by animals. Meaning to say, it will not go through the digestion process but it will remain in the reticulum. So if these nails or metal objects cannot be taken out to the ruminant animal, then it can cause a hardware disease. That is why veterinarians are suggesting to get these metal objects out of the ruminants' digestive system. Through what? First, they can suggest operation, or they can suggest a magnetic type of instrument where they will be able to get the metal inside of the cow's digestive system. Now let us proceed in the omasum. The omasum is a globe-shaped structure containing leaves of tissues. So this part is like a pages in a book. It absorbs water and other substances from the digestive contents. So through the digestion of the animal in the digestive system, the omasum will absorb the water contents from the food that they have eaten. Next is the obasum. The obasum is the only compartment lined with glands. These glands release hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes needed to break down feeds. The obasum is similar to non-ruminant stomach. So the obasum, this part releases hydrochloric acid, and this hydrochloric acid will break down the feed or the food that has been eaten by a ruminant animal. So through this, the food that was eaten by the ruminant animal, it will turn like a liquid type of material or like a bolus. So now let us proceed to the small intestine. After the obasum, of course, the food is going to break down into smaller particles. So now it will go to the small intestine. The small intestine consists of 3 sections. The 3 sections are duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. It measures about 20 times the length of the animal. Imagine, 20 times the length of the animal. So it is so long. This part of the digestive system will absorb the nutrients from the food and will equally submit through the animal's body. Just like in the human's digestive system, in our body, the small intestines absorbs all the nutrients of the food and distribute it to the different parts of our body. And just like in the cow's body, the small intestine also do the same. They absorb all the nutrients from the food and they will equally distribute those nutrients to the other parts of the body of the ruminant animal. Now let's have the cecum. So the cecum, or the importance of the cecum today, is still unknown. Since based on the research, most of the food that has eaten by a ruminant animal, it was already digested from the 4 compartments. But here in the cecum, it says here that this is a large area where the small and large intestine meet. So it's like a bridge for the small and large intestine. So it says also here, according to our research, that cecum breaks down some previously undigested fiber. So meaning to say, it is like, kumbaga, it's like a salaan. So if there are some food particles that are not evenly digested in the 4 compartments of the cow's stomach, so the cecum will digest it thoroughly until it is fully digested. So until now, let us remember that scientists doesn't still know the real importance of this part of the body of an animal. But let us remember that the cecum is the one that connects the small and large intestine of a ruminant animal. Now, the last part is the large intestine. So this is the last section of the tract that undigested feedstuffs pass through. So microbes digest some undigested feed here, but the digestive function of the large intestine is to absorb water. So mainly the large intestine will just absorb the water from the remaining digested food of the cow. And then after the full process of digestion, of course, it will become a poop or a fez of the cow.
Unlike humans, all grass-eating animals have a special stomach with 4 chambers, namely rumen, reticulum, omasum and abomasum. Let's see the process of digestion in grass-eating animals. The animals quickly swallow the grass and store it in rumen, the first chamber of the stomach. In the rumen, the food gets partially digested. The partially digested food is called cud. The cud is pushed into the reticulum, the second chamber of the stomach, and from here it is sent back into the mouth for thorough chewing. The process of chewing the cud is called rumination, and animals which chew the cud are called ruminants. The rechewed food is swallowed and sent into the omasum, the third and the smallest chamber of the stomach, to absorb excess water from the food. In the omasum, the food is broken down to even smaller pieces. This is then sent to the last chamber, abomasum, which is also called the true stomach. The digested food then goes into the small intestine, where absorption of nutrients takes place. A large sac-like structure called cecum, present between the small intestine and large intestine, also contain bacteria that help in the digestion of cellulose, a carbohydrate that is present in grass. So, you now know why cattle keep chewing all the time.
Hi, so let me discuss what is a large ruminant. A large ruminant plays a vital role in the whole agricultural system and so have a large influence on the rural economy. It can be said that large ruminants are the backbone of Nepalese agriculture and maintain the livelihood of 93% of the population, which depends upon agriculture. The large ruminant industry has three components: the buffalo, beef cattle, and dairy cattle. As we have read, large ruminant is a very important and has a significant role in the economy, especially in the agricultural system, because it really it really affects the status of the economy because there are a lot of people depending on the agriculture. Next slide will be, let's discuss the buffalo or a carabao industry in the Philippines. Most of us has not acknowledged this one, but we need to discover what is in the Philippines and what is the special about the buffalo or the carabao in the Philippines. They give importance to it that even a 90% backyard farming and we have a 3% commercial farming. 95% of the backyard farmers in the Philippines used buffaloes for draft. And also, buffaloes and carabaos have 5% for milk and meat. Buffaloes are required to be over before a buffaloes should be slaughtered. A male should be over 7 years old, and for female it should be over 11 years old. In the next slide, we will discover what is the beef industry in the Philippines. In the Philippines, there are 85% of the cattle in the beef industry are comprised of backyard enterprises. Through the large ruminants, which is the beef, we can consume milk, meat, and a leather form from cow skin. So it is beneficial yet profitable for every agricultural workers and every agricultural business. And the next slide, we can see the part of the large ruminants, the digestion system of the large ruminants. We proceed to the next slide. We can say that the large ruminants is a helpful yet profitable for every agriculture in the Philippines. Though over 85% capital they invest. But compared to small ruminants, large ruminants is large ruminant requires a large farmland in order for it to live and to be taken care of, because they are physically large and they also needed a large farm to live. Aside from that, they are also expensive compared to small ruminants. So that's it. Let's proceed to small ruminants. What is a small ruminants? The first animals domesticated for food and fiber were small ruminants, namely sheep and goats. These animals' main agricultural outputs include meat, wool, mohair, cashmere, milk, and dairy products. On the picture, we can see what is the benefits of the small ruminants and why did they invested to small ruminants. So small ruminants is the domesticated first animals domesticated for food and fiber, most commonly the sheep and the goat. So these animals has the production, especially in the agricultural outputs. They have meat, wool, as if you have seen on the picture. So the small ruminants is has a small difference from large ruminants. Aside from getting benefit from it, to the clothes, to cashmere milk, and even to the dairy products. In the next slide, we can see the importance of the small ruminants. The importance of small ruminants is primarily associated with their small size, which is significant into the advantage of mankind for three important reasons: the economic, managerial, and biological. So the advantage of small ruminants to large ruminants: small ruminants is affordable. Imagine having a sheep for only 500 pesos in the Philippines, and you're able to gain from it by investing on the sheep in a cheaper price. So small ruminants, including sheep and goats, appear to be promising to small holder. Aside from that, a small ruminants is able has the capability to survive in a water limited areas and harsh environment compared to large ruminants. So many farmers has invested to small ruminants because it has many advantages compared to large ruminants. Yet they are smaller physically, and one of the advantage of these is that they are easily to be taken care of. So let's now proceed what's the difference between goats and sheep. They are both ruminants, but they are the most commonly invested in the agricultural system. So sheep and goats are closely related but are different. Slight differences exist in the horns and the skeleton. There are both ruminants but eat different plants. So goats have beards, sheep have foot glands, male goats have a very strong smells, as you have noticed to your goats everywhere you have seen. Goats are more intelligent, independent, and have a better ability to fight more than sheep. So we cannot question why they choose to have goats and sheep, because especially on their attitude and the benefit we can get from them from a very affordable price. So all in all, large and small ruminants are still needed even up to this day. Even the technology exists. Why? Because we cannot make sheep out of the technology. We cannot produce what the sheep can do out of the technologies. So we need the natural benefit, the natural product we can get from them. So it is easy And the animals or the small and large ruminants have the ability of different advantages. So if you have ever planned in your mind how what to invest and what type of animals should you buy in order to have a business or agricultural outputs, you can get choose between the large and the small ruminants. They are both beneficial but have a different from the prices and its quality that they produce. So, and I hope you have learned a lot from this lesson, and I thank you for listening even up to this end of the video. Thank you and bye bye. I hope you have learned the difference of the digestive system between the human and the animals. Bye.